Hey Archery Talk, this is Lucas, and it is speed test day with the 2026 Hunting Bow Shootout. I've got 7 bows in this year, and here they are in the order from the slowest to the fastest advertised speed. First up, we have the Elite Veros, which has an advertised speed of 338 feet per second, followed by the Prime Divide 33 at 339 feet per second. That's tied with the Darton Tritech 33, also at 339. Next up is the Matthews Arc 34 at 343 feet per second, followed by the PSE Sicario and the APA Black Mamba Pro 6, both at 357 feet per second. And finally, we have the Obsession Ultramag 360, which has an advertised speed of 360 feet per second. The Obsession is actually a 2025 bow. I got that after all the bows in all the videos I shot last year, so I'm just including it this year to give it some extra exposure. And those are the bows I've got. I have ran each one of those through the chronograph. I've shot them with 350 grain arrows and 455 grain arrows. I have them each set up at 70 pounds, and the draw length on all of them is somewhere between 30 inches and 30¼ inches. So I shot the bows in the order of the slowest to fastest advertised speed, and that Elite Veros with the 350 grain arrow saw speeds of 327 and 327 feet per second. And with the heavier 455 grain arrow, we've got speeds of 291 feet per second every time I shot it. The Prime Divide is up next, and with the lighter arrow, we have speeds of 337 and 337 feet per second. And with the heavier arrow, we have 299 and 298 feet per second. The Darton Tritech is next, and it was basically a mirror image of the Prime. It had speeds with the lighter arrow of 337 and 337. And with the heavier arrow, we went 298 and 299. So basically the same arrow speeds as the Prime Divide. The Matthews Arc 34 is up next. Now with the lighter arrow, we shot speeds of 339 and 339 feet per second. And with that heavier arrow, we saw speeds up to 301 feet per second. The PSE Sicario is up next, and with that lighter arrow, we have speeds of 351 and 352 feet per second. And with the heavier arrow, we have 312 feet per second every time we shot it. The APA Black Mamba Pro 6 is up next. With that lighter arrow, we have 348 and 348 feet per second. And with the heavier arrow, we have 307 and 308 feet per second. Wrapping things up, we have the Obsession Ultramag 360, and with that lighter arrow, we shot speeds of 331 and 330 feet per second. And with the heavier arrow, we shot 295 and 295. So let's compile the stats. And the winner this year is the fastest bow I shot all year is the PSE Sicario with an average speed of 352 feet per second with the lighter arrow and 312 feet per second with that heavier hunting arrow. Second place is the APA Black Mamba at 348 and 308. Then the Matthews Arc 34 at 339 and 301. The Prime Divide and Darton Tritech finished exactly the same at 337 and 299. Next up is the Obsession Ultramag at 331 and 295. And in 7th place is the Elite Veros at 327 and 291 feet per second. I also wanted to look at which bows came closest to their advertised speeds, and the results here are slightly different, although I have to say, overall, super impressed this year. I had a lot of bows come with just within 5 feet a second. Very happy to see that. That's highly unusual. And so the bows that did the best versus their advertised speed, we have a tie at the top between the Prime Divide and the Darton Tritech. Each came within 2 feet per second of their advertised speeds. Next up was the Matthews, which was just 4 feet per second off, and the PSE at just 5 feet per second off. The APA was -9, the Elite was -11, and the Obsession was pretty clear 7th place here at -29 feet per second. Overall, for the most part, all of the bows came within what I would call a reasonable number. Consider that all these bows have a peep and have a D-loop on them. So that's usually good for a couple feet per second. I've never really shot a bow without a peep and a D-loop, but a lot of people complain that that's what I do. But I'm trying to keep it consistent across the board. I try to have the same D-loop and the same peep pretty much on every bow if I can do it. So overall, again, thank you very much to all the competitors and all the manufacturers who sent their bows for me to test this year. It is much appreciated. We've got a whole bunch more videos coming for you before we do the big 7-bow shootout. So Archery Talk, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel an awful lot, and we'll see you soon.